heart attack. Fast fatal heart impact. Past painful scars. In fact, I blast tasteful bars and pass. I back up my actions. Fact, don't ask. Grab reactions. Jacked attack with every word. Then act with class as they hear me snap. I got nothing to lose, cause I fought and felt the bruise. Now I'm not the one confused. Call the shots and they produce. I ain't lost, I'm finally loose. Pick a new submerged juice. I need the views to boost me to a new abuse of being used. Everybody wants a piece now. Y'all can rest in peace now. You're dead to me, so peace out. Remember you're discreet now. Get ready for defeat now.
Alrighty, hello everybody. This is Kyusho here, and now, before we do begin, let's give a brief little review. In the last part, we had Deku and the Children of Fire. Now, Deku, he's gone to their current base, and right now, after spending a day here, he's been talking to somebody. Deku, he talked to somebody who he thinks is in charge, and from what he can understand, they are very spiritual for a firebender. They talk about how learning from other benders of different elements can do a firebender good, and how Deku, he can meditate. Deku let it slip by accident to this man that he meditates, and while he did think that the man being an older firebender, he might have thought that was strange. However, he didn't. In fact, he did seem to somewhat encourage it. Now, the man is very strange to Deku. However, in exchange for Deku teaching some of these people how to bend properly, he talked about how he would teach Deku about lightning bending. And a few of the other people here who would be teaching groups of people, they are somewhat surprised by Deku. They want to know a bit more about him, especially because he seems to be very, well, what's the best way to say? Experienced with the elements for somebody of his age. Now, with that being said, we do currently pick up about a month later, where Deku, he had a lot of trouble. At first, people gave him a small group, and from what he understood, he was teaching 10 people. At first, he thought that it was going to be, well, easy. You know, he's the Avatar, he knew the elements pretty well. I mean, for Christ's sake, he has to master 4 of them. However, he's only at 3. But hey, he knows a lot about firebending. He's a born firebender, so let's see where this goes. And it went bad. People, they didn't really seem to want to listen to him, nor did they want to respect him. However, there was over Deku, he did give them all simple instructions. However, people kept disregarding it or stopped listening to him. There was actually where some people, they did somewhat listen. Now, the people who did listen, they did start to see some improvements. However, the ones who constantly kept trying to be hard-headed and arrogant about their own power, yeah, Deku, he had to humble them quickly. And while he couldn't use a different element to show that another person of the opposite element could take them down, he decided that fire would be good enough. And there was where Deku at least could battle against these people. They were confident in 1v1s. However, Deku, he reassured them that even if they were against 1v1s, he could beat them all with a hand behind his back. And he then did demonstrate it. Very simply. Their movements were sloppy, they weren't coordinated. They weren't even, well, doing things pretty good. All they were doing was just throwing around bending. Hell, they knew how to throw better punches than bend. And that was kind of sad. Now, Deku, he did try to at least focus these people. And eventually, after showing them that the meditation can help, a lot of them, they were a bit more confused. Some of them, they did start to at least have trouble with their bending. They noticed it got weaker whenever they started to calm themselves down. However, there was where Deku did at least express to focus your rage. Basically, clear your mind and focus your anger into a single point. Think of it like a spear, and you'll use that spear to constantly attack anything that is in your way. However, a spear, being a weapon, is focused, is calm, and is calculated. If you know how to use the weapon properly, it can be very damaging to whatever you want to hit. It can be very deadly, it can be very lethal, or it could be as safe as, well, a piece of paper. I mean, what? That's the best way you can describe it. Now, Deku, after using this analogy and coming up with it, people were somewhat surprised. And we do currently have where some of his students, they are training on their own. However, Deku, he is trying to help somebody who has been very troubled. And right now, we do currently have where Deku is sitting down with them. As Deku, he is sitting there in his pose, him meditating, as he actually is listening to a stream run nearby. And right now, he does is going to look up across from him, as there is Luna, who she actually is trying to focus herself. She's having trouble. All her life she's been, well, gifted with her firebending. However, right now, she's learning a lot. Luna, she actually has learned that whenever she tries to focus her mind or try to calm herself down, she has trouble. She, in the best way of putting it, is changing. She vowed to herself to get strong, and she also vowed to herself that she would not be pushed around. She would always stand up for herself and take shit from nobody. However, having a teacher, yeah, that sort of does violate her self-made oath. And for right now, she is trying to reforge that path. And Deku, he is currently just going to look up from her. Right now, he does get to open his eyes and look up towards her, to see that she actually is still somewhat fumbling around with her position. And she actually is somewhat moving her hands around and trying to get them to be comfortable. Now, Deku can tell already from here that her palms are sweaty, and she is having trouble just sitting still. You're unfocused. What? You're unfocused. What do you mean? Like I'm saying, you need to be aware. Clear your mind. Focus everything you have on the simple idea. What do you want to do? How are you doing things? And exactly what you want your path to be. Okay, I don't believe in all this meditation bullshit, okay? You don't have to. Okay, it's easy for you to say. You're calm. How? Because I've been trained to be this way. Meditation is a natural part of my life. In fact, it's something that I do quite often. It allows me to focus. However, you have to be careful with it. Okay, what do you mean? Now, Deku is going to look up, him opening his eye to see that she actually is already standing up. As when she is going to somewhat stretch, Deku is going to inform her that with meditation comes focus. With clarity of mind comes the fact that your senses, they do sharpen. However, with that sharpness, it turns into a bit more of a sword. And you might cleave your way into the spirit world by accident. Has he ever heard of astral projection? Now, she's going to look over towards Deku. She's heard about that before. I mean, spirits and stuff, yeah, those are real. However, they come to our worlds, not the other way around. Yeah, she's heard studies and at least vague ideas as to what's going on there, but right now she's curious to hear about this. Astral what? Astral projection. And the best way of putting it, it is where you separate yourself from your body, your consciousness, and you're allowed to explore the world. I don't expect you to understand how it works, but it's also very dangerous. There is certain things that you need to be aware of. If you astral project hard enough, you'll go into the spirit world, and that is dangerous. There are many spirits there that are friendly and many that are not. I myself have had experiences there, but I'd rather not talk about them. Wait. So you're saying that all this spiritual crap is real? Yes, I am. In fact, I've talked to a spirit before. Okay, hold on. Her going to sit back down. And Deku just watches some of her messy long hair just going to someone throw itself in front of her face. Hurley's going to bring up her hand and go to throw it back over her head, asking what he means by he's talked to a spirit. Oh, that's easy. It's, strange at first, but you get used to it. Deku is going to open his eyes. Before he does go to someone to look over and see that there actually is Avatar Aang. Right now, he himself is focusing. And Aang, he does going to open his eyes. Him just going to somewhat turn and smile before he's trying to advise Deku. Lightning bending is something that he does need to be aware of. He himself never learned it. However, he has been curious about it before. All he ever did learn is lightning redirection. If he does want advice, then contact Roku. However, he can show him what he does know about that. From what he does understand, redirection is also something he can do. However, trying to generate it himself, that's not something he's ever attempted. Has he? No. What? Sorry. Deku going to bring up his hand, expecting that there is actually a spirit right here. No way. Are you being serious? Her leaning forwards and a bit more curious. Yes, I am. Does she not know that you are the Avatar? Deku is shaking his head no. And whenever he does go to do that, Luna does go to look back towards Deku. She did go to someone bring up her hand, and weave it out, asking if the spirit can show itself to her. However, Deku just did go to look over towards her and tell her that that doesn't work. She can't touch a spirit. Not in this world. Okay. Hang on. I'm just... Wow, okay. So, what's the strangest thing you've ever encountered? I'm not answering that. Right now we still have 15 more minutes of meditation. Focus on the stream. And then whenever we get to training later, maybe we can talk about that afterwards. Now, Luna, she does her somewhat focus. Her looking at the way Deku is sitting down. And while she is doing that, you do actually have where she is going to somewhat focus more. Her trying to get herself ready. Her somewhat wiping down her hands on her pant legs before just going to put her hands back down together. And this time she actually somewhat try to make sure she can do this. Clear her mind. Focus on the water. Remember what they said. Focus on the water. Now, Luna would go to do this. And there actually is whenever Deku, he doesn't somewhat just wait for a minute or two. The area they're in, the forest, it's completely silent. All you can hear in this area, I just froze my brain for a minute, is nothing but the stream of water. It is not violent. It is not flowing heavily. However, you can notice it for some, well, let's just say at least a few feet. So there is that. Now, Deku is going to somewhat open his eye. And this time he actually is going to open both as he does see Luna. Right now he is sitting there and focusing. As she does is try to focus more. Okay, you got this. You got this. You got this. Now, Deku would watch that. And that is quite surprising. Luna? Now, Deku would still call her name. Luna. Luna. Now, he watches as there is no response. Him going to somewhat stand up and going to directly walk forwards. Him going to bring his hands up and clapping right in front of her face. And the moment he does so, there's no reaction. Shit. You are focused. Now, Deku will go to sit back down. As whenever he does so, he himself just go back into meditating. And after there is a buzzing sound, he does so go to open his eyes. As he'll go to turn and go to reach out for his phone. Him going to turn off the alarm as he's going to turn towards Luna. and ask if she is done, because they need to go ahead for more training. Together with everybody else, they themselves are doing independent study, if you don't want to give it that term, and they need to all gather for a class. Now, Deku, yeah, there is a bit of a problem here. He does try to shake Luna after she didn't respond to his voice, and then she just fell over. Shit. Himley's going to bring his hand up, checking for a pulse, but he does feel it is weak. No. You fucking idiot! Now, Deku will go to reach down, him grabbing onto her and throwing her over his shoulder, as we do actually have where he does go to run down the pathway. And right now, we do actually have back at the temple, or the place they're living in. Whenever people do see Deku come running up carrying Luna, they think for a second that something went wrong. A training exercise gone bad, or maybe just, well, they're attacked. However, whenever Deku did go running towards the medical area and tell people that he needs somebody to come check this out, there is the fact that when the doctors go to examine her, they're confused. There's nothing wrong with her. I mean, they checked her for injuries, they did what they needed to, and they checked her pulse. Her vitals do seem to be okay. I mean, there's no damage to her skin, no thing where toxins could get in. And they're confused. Now, Deku, you do actually have where the older man does come walking into the room. And he would try to understand what's happening. And Deku just tried to express what they were doing. He was showing Luna how to concentrate more and meditate. However, he theorizes, or at least does believe, she slipped into the spirit world. And right now, we do actually cut back over to Luna, who there is actually where she does go to astral project. The moment she felt, well, as if she just turned into a stream, she just flew upwards. She felt totally weightless. And that surprised her. Her going to somewhat stand up and walk forwards. Okay, listen, I don't think that this is her stepping directly where Deku's foot is. And her leg is going to pass directly through him. Working. Hello? Luna? Luna? Now, she's going to watch Deku, who he does somewhat stand up and walk right through her. Her bring her hands up and going to at least feel her body. Her hands can touch her spiritual body. However, they can't interact with him. Oh my god. It's just like he said. Now, Luna, she actually is very happy by this. Well, she did learn meditation and, well, go through the class Deku was teaching about it. She never really understood it. I mean, yeah, clearing your mind, that's something that the people who she was raised by taught her. I mean, they were waterbenders. So it's kind of easy, but putting it into practice? Hell. I mean, this is some real serious shit. Now, Deku, he is waving his hand in front of Luna's face. And she just watch him go through the progress, before finally he's going to clap his hands directly in front of her, and then going to take a seat beside her. Now, Luna, she actually is somewhat concerned. Deku, he seems to be different. I mean, there seems to be just a glow around him. It's so bizarre. Now, Luna will go to hear something, and she's going to turn and look into the forest. Her watching as something spiritual does going to move. And she does decide to just go walk through the forest for a minute. I mean, they got some time before they do get back. So, she's just gonna be right back. Now, Luna, she does break one rule of walking on the spirit plane, or at least going tippy-toe on the line. Never leave your physical body alone, or at least in a place where it might get moved. Now, Luna, she just go wandering off. And after some time, she got lost. Not a good first time. Now, that was where Deku, he did go to at least take Luna back to the medical facility. And there was the fact that the older man, he does hear about Deku's side of the story. They were meditating, and she may have slipped through the cracks. Okay. Now, the man, he does try to inform Deku as to what's going to be happening. They need to go back to the location where she was. And, at the very least, let her know, if she does return there, that they took her back to the place. More than likely, they should be okay. However, if there is something here, then they will need to at least be ready. They need to be on guard against this, and be prepared for any threat. The spirit world is still a yet unknown place to them. Now, Deku, he is somewhat confused. However, the man, he does go at least inform Deku. He needs to be aware. Let him know where he was, and Deku can be her guide. Now, Deku, he doesn't want to go to agree. Him giving the man the location and going to explain. It's just further down the path, and then you take a sharp right at this area, where there actually is a carving of this on a tree. Now, the man will go to leave, and Deku is going to somewhat sit down. Him going to lay against the wall, as the doctor they do somewhat look at him confused. Before Deku does just go to bring his hands up and start focusing. As the moment Deku's hands do go together, he does immediately go to turn on the avatar state. As we do over his body, he does going to leave it. Deku's head still going to slump a bit more forwards, as the doctor they do ask him if he really does think that this will work. And he's talking to nothing here. Now, Deku, he actually does go to somewhat get up. Him going to walk directly through the wall and start running. Now, Deku, he is wary. And right now, he does need to make sure he can find her. Now, Deku would head back to the area, and he is actually starting to call out for her. However, whenever he does start, he does think that if he is calling to her, then something else could hear his call. So for right now, he might need to stop. Okay. Let's see. What do we do now? Hello? Deku looking around, as he's going to walk to an area where he does actually see Luna. Right now, Luna, she is bending down, and she is looking at something that is there. And Deku does ask her what she's doing. Her someone jumping on a turn. Her surprised to see that Deku, he actually is here. Okay. This is all crazy. I get that. But why did you wander away? Okay. I didn't wander away. I knew if anything happened, you take me to back to the place, right? That's where my body is? Yes, it is. However, there's a bit of a problem. What is it? If you spend too much time away from your body, you'll slip into the spirit world forever. So come on, we need to hurry. It's already been more than 20 minutes for you. And right now, I'm assuming you're finding it a bit hard to focus, right? Now, Luna would go to look at Deku. She wants to say something back. However, the moment she was trying to think of something witty to say, she's... Well... Wait. She was gonna say... She was gonna... Oh, Christ. Now, this confusion does lead to panic. And she just go running over to Deku, asking exactly if she's going to forget everything. If she's going to forget her name. Because right now, she's starting to forget where they even are. Now, Deku is going to bring his hands, steadying Luna back out before he's telling her to follow him right now. And that they do need to hurry. Now, we do actually have the older man, who, whenever he is sitting down and trying to focus, you do have where he does go somewhat look up. Him watching as he can see the outline, or at least the vague shape, of two different people. And right now they do go to run past the area he's in. And whenever he does get to see them, he does somewhat go to somewhat close back his eyes, trying to focus more. As Deku, he didn't realize the man, he was somewhat able to see them. However, he was only able to make out Deku's outline just a bit more. Now, the two would return, and their actions whenever Deku, he does go to someone to jump back up, and then go to look towards Luna. As whenever she herself does go to jump up, she's going to bring her hands up. Oh god, that hurts. That really hurts. Okay, do you want to explain what's happening here? I should. Okay, Luna, listen to me. You're going to hurt for a while. That's your, let me just put it bluntly, soul getting used to a body again. And that was the feeling of slipping into the spirit world, and it trying to get a lock on you. If you're in there for too long, you won't come back. You'll become a part of it. It will absorb you. It will, in a sense, swallow you whole. Alright? Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. Ow. Oh god. I feel like someone's taking a drill through my skull. Yeah, you'll feel like that for a few days. A few days? Yeah. You should just be thankful you're alive. Alright? Yeah, okay. Now, Luna, she is still somewhat foggy. However, she has to try to ask Deku exactly how he knew how to do that. Experience. Now, Deku will go to stand up. We do have where he does get to go outside. Informing everybody that right now, the lesson plan, it is going to be somewhat sped up. He'll inform them as to the movements. He'll inform them as to the techniques. However, he does want them to practice it on their own. Because right now, he does need to do something else at the current moment. And everybody, they do somewhat look around. Some of the people here are just a little bit older than Deku. However, many of them are still relatively young. And Deku is trying to inform them. Teach each other. Try and do things they think would be helpful. And review things with each other. Combat train. That is what he is informing them. Right now, he himself needs to learn and go over a little bit of things. Now, he will go to leave them. And there is over the older man just come walking up, asking Deku if currently right now he has a moment to talk, and if they can go somewhere. Now, Deku and the men will go to walk away from this facility, and when they do so, they do take a walk in the nearby forest, as the man will lead Deku to a mountain and start to inform him as to what's going to be happening. Now, the man is going to bring him his hands, and he is going to start moving around his fingers and pointing them to focus. As Deku would watch the man go to bring his hands up and move. As whenever he does go to someone to take up a stance, he is going to shoot the lightning. Now, the man does start to inform Deku as to what to do. And Deku, yeah. He does try to focus. He tries to focus a bit more. He can feel the air crackling. And he can also feel that whenever he is moving around his body. And the man does start to inform him as to what to do. Be ready. Charge it up just a little bit, and then whenever he does have more faith in it, more confidence in it, more, well, sturdiness behind it, charge it a bit more. And then go to point and fire. Now, Deku just follow the man's directions. And right now, their actions where he does going to send out a bit more of a smaller volt of lightning through his fingertips. Him sending it outwards and going to feel his fingers scorched from the power. However, he has to pull his hand backwards to find that they're not damaged. However, he does still feel tingly. Wow. They're going to say, shaking off his hands. That's a new feeling. Yes, it is. You progressed well through our training. At first, I was concerned that you may not be able to do it. Hmm, really? Yes. Not all firebenders can lightning bend. In fact, many of them have to resort to the other techniques. That is how lightning redirection came about. A lightning bender, he could not use or harness the power. However, he did still believe that being a firebender himself, he has the ability to control it. So, he, well, in the bluntest way of putting it, attempted to catch lightning, and one day he was successful in doing so. However, he did not live for very long. What do you mean he caught lightning? It is an old story. Many believe it to be false. However, there is usually a kernel of truth. It is my belief that much time after this, many different people tried to improve upon his ideas. They thought that maybe he did something wrong, and with the help of other benders, they were able to discover what he did. He, first of all, was out in the rain, and that already enough is a very big indication as to what he did wrong. Oh, that makes a lot more sense. Correct. Now, with that being said, we do actually have Deku. He does get his own train under this man, and he does try to inform Deku as to what he's going to be doing. Now, we do actually have a bit of time later, where the man, he does get to start walking throughout the facility, and there are actions whenever he does get to walk to a door that he knows is his friends. Him walking inside and he's going to talk to the man, informing him as to his progress with the students. Now, the man, he is somewhat pleased, and he does go inform his friend as to what to do. They are going to need to test them fully. Yes, taking them here and using their bending is something that he does like. Giving them a bit more combat experience is also good. However, to show that they are truly committed to the flames, if he will put it that way, then he does want them to use their own flames to take something down. And right now, he does have a very good target. Now then, with that being said, I do hope you guys enjoyed, and have an amazing day. I'll catch you guys in the next part.